Welcome back, everybody. 816. Look at the candy canes. Look at the candy canes. They're beautiful candy canes, and they're made by the good folks at Side Door. Is that right, Jonathan? Did you make them?
I did make them. Yeah, we're having a lot of fun doing a little bit of sugar work. We had the idea of just making candy canes for fun, just to see if we could, and then it slowly just started getting out of control.
From what I heard, Heather, the fun never stops at Side Door.
No, we've got tacos and donuts. I've got candy canes and ramen noodles.
I'm going to talk.
Right.
It's pretty exciting.
Right. Yeah, you have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got your own candy canes. How can you go wrong?
That's right, man.
Yeah. What do you got there, Jonathan? What's that?
This is a beautiful little piece of strip loin.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be making our ramen noodles from our lunch menu.
You make your own noodles there too, right?
We make our own alkaline noodles, yeah. So we roll them out every day, and they're a pretty awesome little thing.
What does alkaline mean? Like, what's that got to do with noodles?
Well, we take sodium carbonate and we add it to the noodles, and what it gives is a lot more chew. And when it goes inside of the broth, they don't get soggy. You know, sometimes like noodles you have, and they get really overcooked, and it gets kind of gross. Yeah. These. They don't do that. They're tough, and they have a really nice chew to them, and they slurp.
Oh, they're good slurping noodles?
Really good slurping noodles.
So you're thinly slicing your beautiful strip loin there.
Yep. So this we have a few different ramens on the menu. This one's our rare beef.
Yeah.
So I cut it a little bit thicker than what you would normally get in a pho house anywhere in Chinatown.
Right.
So it actually stays as rare beef, and by the time you get it, it doesn't turn into well-done beef.
Right, which often happens when they're in the noodles.
Very often.
Yeah, it looks kind of gray and not so appetizing.
No,
you got it.
It stays nice.
Exactly. Jonathan, what is it I have in my hand right here that I can't seem to put down? What is this thing?
That is, you call it a bunch of different things, but basically it's just it's a strainer. So we use that to...
It's fancy.
Yeah, pretty much. I could give you all sorts of fancy names, but that's just a strainer. We keep that to keep our noodles in check, so we can get them out of the water nice and fast.
Listen, it's always good to keep your noodles in check. There's no question about that. Okay?
No. You want to keep your noodles in check.
Heather, what else you got going on at Side Door? Like, what's all the fun happening over there? What goes on?
Well, we're having some Christmas parties right now.
Are you?
'Tis the season, right?
Yes, right.
We've got a great event space in sort of the back of the restaurant where we can host bigger parties. And Johnny's come up with another dish to serve back there. It's a whole fried fish.
Really?
Yeah, and then you get butter leaf.
What kind of fish, John?
Right now we're getting some Ontario pickerel.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. They're about...
So it's a full-on fish, Heather?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
It comes out on a silver platter.
How do you feel about that when you see it?
It doesn't look... It looks good. And then you take you take some pickles that we make in house, also delicious, some sauce, and you wrap it all up and you eat it. It's a great conversation piece.
I've never heard of a restaurant that makes all that stuff in house. Seriously, that's rare, isn't it?
It is rare, and I actually have I got a few great. All my cooks are pretty awesome that I work with, and they started using Side Door as an adjective to describe. It's like, well, that's very Side Door. Why don't we just make our own noodles? Why don't we make our own pickles? Why don't we do this? Why don't we do this?
I don't mind that. Wouldn't you want to have your stuff described as as long as it's a good adjective?
As long as it's a good one, that's right.
So far, so good.
Is there any room for more parties, or is it all booked up, do you think, Heather?
The weekends are booked up, but weekdays we've got some room left, and I mean into the new year too.
And it doesn't have to be a huge party.
No,
right?
I can hold up to 90 people seated, but I mean I've used the room for smaller groups too. So.
You guys have some great events there as well.
We've had some fun stuff.
Yeah, I've done a couple of events there.
Yeah.
Big auction there, a couple last year.
Well, it's such a big space.
Yeah,
right?
I know. Yeah, it's awesome, and it's easy to find. Just go in the side door at, what's the address?
18B York Street.
Yeah, so look for restaurant 18, right?
Yeah.
And go in the side door.
And you just go in the side door? So I would name it side door?
It's a beautiful, beautiful spot. That looks fantastic, John.
Thanks, man. It's we try to keep it as traditional as we can.
And what's it called?
It's called ramen. So this is pretty much as popular as in Japan and around there in Korea and China.
So you've got vegetables in there, you've got mushrooms in there, you've got noodles in there, you've got beef in there.
You got it. And we also have a soft poached egg.
I thought that was an egg.
Because that's just up there and how delicious.
And then you eat it with the sticks.
You eat it with sticks. You eat it with chopsticks. Yeah. Now the big.
You have to slurp too.
You have to slurp.
You have to. The bowl has to come into your hands. You gotta
finish it like that?
Oh, yeah. You gotta finish it like that.
Like so much leftover milk from cereal?
Yeah.
You got it.
You have to.
We do one really sneaky thing. Normally they have ramen has like some sort of fat on the top to like insulate it and keep it warm.
Yeah.
And it also helps, it clings to the noodles as you slurp them. So you have all this fat that basically goes up on the noodles and then starts throwing soup into your face. It is the I love this stuff.
So when you go into the side door for this, does it come with a spray shield of some sort, or
Well, you know, like,
No, it's bring your own
it's
bib.
up there with
BYOB?
Pretty much.
Bring your own bib.
You got it.
Nice.
It's still cleaner than a burger, and I'll attest to that.
That looks gorgeous. We got to run, but listen, do I make reservations at Side Door, Heather? Do I just drop by? What happens?
Reservations are always recommended.
Yeah.
So we're open for lunch Monday to Friday,
Yeah.
11:45 till 2.
Okay.
And then we start, we've got our tacos are available at 4:30 every day.
Yeah.
And then 5 o'clock the full menu is available. So.
I think it's a restaurant that's just a little bit different than the rest, and that's a good thing. Hey?
I feel the exact same. As long as we can keep doing it well,
That's right.
Happy
As long
to
as
give
the
them.
adjective is positive. That looks beautiful. Thanks, guys, for coming in, and have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and all that business.
thank you, sir.
We'll be right back. It's 8:22. Today's the day. Next with Leanne Lang and more.